Alright, today we are going to go over another method to multiply decimals. And this is the area method or the box method. Some people call it the window method. So I have discussed this before, but basically we're going to pretty much use the similar strategy for the standard algorithm that we did with the box method. So this is what we're going to do. We are basically going to use the box method to multiply 54 times 62. We're going to pretend that the decimals do not exist for the time being. So we have to take these and put them into expanded form, and it becomes 50 and 4. We make a box here, and we put one number on this side, and then we put one number on this side, 60 and 2. And it doesn't matter if the 62 goes on this side and the 54 goes up here, but it does matter that the 50 and 4 stay together and the 60 and 2 stay together. If they do not, if you put the 50 and 2 on one side and the 60 and 4 on another side, you will get a different answer, because basically you would be multiplying 52 times 64 as opposed to 54 times 62, which will definitely give you different answers. So just make sure that that each number is fully on either the top or the left side. So anyway, so what we do is we multiply these. 5 times 6 is 30, and then I add the two zeros. 1, 2. 6 times 4 is 24, and I add the 0. 240. 5 times 2 is 10, and then I add the 0. And then 4 times 2 is 8. So now I just have to add all of these numbers up. I put 100 down here and an 8 down here. Then I can use the standard algorithm. 8, 4. The biggest thing is when you're adding up all of these numbers, especially if there's a whole bunch of them, you need to make sure you line them up properly, or else you will get them wrong. 2 plus 1 plus 0 is 3, and then 3, because there's no other numbers in this column. So the answer is 3,348. But there are two numbers after the decimal place. So one here, the 4, and one here, the 2. So what we end up doing is the decimal's over here. Now we have to move the decimal 1, 2, 2 places over. Or we can think of it as two numbers to the other side of the decimal, but it becomes 33 and 48 hundredths. And one way to look at this that we can think about is we can round each of these to the nearest whole number, and then we can estimate. So 5 and 4/10 would become 5, because 4 is under 5. If it was 5 and 5/10, we could round up to 6. But in this case, we round down to 5, and then times 6, because 2 is also under 5. 5 times 6 equals 30. And 30 is close to 33 and 48 hundredths. Now, if our answer was 334, and we estimated that the answer should be around 30, you're going to have to go back and be like, the decimal doesn't seem to be in the right spot in that case, right? It would be like with 8/10 here, because it would be the same decimals. But anyway, so it's always good to look into that. Now let's try to do this number now. 6 hundredths times 23 and 2/10. We're going to set this up the same way, but we're just going to pretend it is 6 times 232 and then we just have to break it up. 230 and 2 in expanded form. 6 times 2 is 12. Then I add the two zeros. 1, 2. 6 times 3 is 18. And then I add 0. 180. 6 times 2 is 12. I add all of these up. 180. 12. And then add these up. 2. 9. 3, 1. Now I have to look how many numbers are past the decimal, and it's 1, 2, and then 3. So that means I would have to move the decimal from here, 1, 2, 3, or I could just think of it as 3 numbers have to be on the other side of the decimal now. So the answer is 1 and 392 thousandths. And yeah, so that is the answer. You know, with these decimals under 1, it's a bit harder to estimate exactly. So that is it is a bit harder to estimate like it is when you're multiplying kind of numbers with whole numbers, but just make sure you do it right and you will know you're getting the right answer. But yeah, so that is how you do the division of decimals with the area model. Hopefully that was helpful.